Hey guys, Steve here for Who Took My Dice Miniature Wargaming, and welcome to my journey into lands of Middle-earth. I'm going to preface this by saying I'm a huge fan of The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings. I remember my dad reading the books to me when I was really young. The Hobbit, it just sparked my imagination. I love the lands of Middle-earth. When I found out they were making the movies way back when I was in high school, I must have reread the books a dozen times each. Delved into the Silmarillion, the unfinished tales, all that cool stuff. His letters where he explains about the Astari and the true sort of nature of Gandalf and Sauron and the Radagast and the two blue wizards. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go find those books and read them. They are fantastic. The Silmarillion is such a huge book. It's almost biblical in just how much it covers. To give you an idea, The Lord of the Rings is a paragraph at the end of the book. So all that crazy stuff that happened in Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, is a paragraph at the end of the book. So much other stuff happened. But the real reason I got excited again is that at I think it was one of their big expos there, Games Workshop. I think it was a Forge World Open day, actually. Yeah, that was it. They showed off a brand new set for The Lord of the Rings / The Hobbit. Now it's called Middle-earth. It's going to be a set that's going to feature Theoden. It's a Battle of Pelennor Field, so you have King Theoden, a bunch of Riders of Rohan, the Undead that helped them out, and of course you have the Nazguls, the Witch King of Angmar on his fell beast, and all of the goblins and nasty orcs and all that. Not goblins, orcs. Goblins don't like it there. I decided, you know what, I've already got an army of small armies as a great company back in the day. It was really cool because everybody could use bows. Back in the day, you couldn't actually. A whole army, I think only 33% of the army could have bows. A great company could have more. So it was a cool army filled with guys with a lot of courage, really good fight values, really good shoot values. The only downside was their armor, their defense was really low, because they don't have time for plate mail or chain mail or shields everywhere. It's spears, swords, and bows and arrows. I was looking through it. I decided, you know what, and what was really cool is that all these little sort of battle companies popped up for all the, and they saw one for the Shire. And I always thought it was really cool, the Shire. I mean, they're hobbits. Like, how can you not like hobbits? And what's really cool is now I tried to actually look at it again. It's sold out online, so I'm not the only one who feels this way. But I decided, you know what? I even put this up on the Facebook page. I said, should I put a little poll up saying, should I build a Shire battle company or not? Am I like out of my mind? And more people said, go for it. So I thought I'd start with what I have. I don't have very much right now, but I want to change that. I'm going to pick some up when I get a chance. But what do I have? So we'll go through this quickly here. I'm going to go. So first off, I have these three little guys right here. These guys are Hobbit Militia. Your basic guys, just armed with hand weapons. This guy has a two-handed axe. Got a guy here with a hammer. Right, they're basic, normal, everyday tools used to fight off whatever ruffians come their way. And of course, then I have our good little friend Farmer Maggot, who you never actually see in the books, but you hear about. Oh, can't forget he has his three little dogs. There's two little boys right there. All right, and then the third one. Gotta love the dogs. Gotta love them. Get them up close there. Happy little dogs. Yeah. But Merry and Pippin and Frodo and Sam would constantly get into his garden and steal his vegetables. Of course, it's not actually mentioned in the movies. They don't talk about the Scouring of the Shire, but it's a big part in the book. It's they call him Sharky and Wormy. It's actually Saruman and Grima Wormtongue. It's his last revenge against Gandalf. In the movie, Saruman dies. Legolas shoots Wormtongue with an arrow, and he's done. That kind of happens, but in the books, it actually happens at the end when Frodo, Sam, and Merry and Pippin get back, and they find the party tree's been cut down. The town's been turned into pretty much a small version of what he had built up around Isengard. And there's ruffians everywhere. And certain elements of the Hobbit people, the people from the Shire, have actually joined in, thinking that this is the way it should be, right? They're afraid. They end up stopping them, and in the end, Grima stabs Saruman. He's had enough, and then gets shot with a Hobbit arrow. What's really cool is as Grima dies and as Saruman passes away, his spirit comes out, and the wind from the west just blows it away. And that's because he turned from what his original goal was. So the Valar in the Undying Lands say, no, you're done, buddy. You're toast. Right? But so, yeah, so that's the beginning. I also have little wee Mary here that I painted up ages ago. I'm going to have to give it a touch-up. It's actually not that bad. Do some touching up here. Add some washers. Look at him up closer. Ooh! That's when he's a squire of Rohan. Cute little guy there. And that's the one I forgot that I had. And I was really happy to find that I actually had it. This is one that I used from. This is Bolror Took. Right? This is one of. He's a hobbit that was large enough to ride a horse. He's also a hobbit credited with creating golf. He knocked the head off a goblin king and it rolled into a hole. Thus, he killed the goblin king and at the same time invented golf. He's actually a ancestor of Bilbo and Frodo and all that. So I have him, of course, on his horse there, the big club, and of course you have to have him on foot as well. And there he is, leading his hobbitmen to victory. I'm going to paint these guys up. What I'm going to go for is a lot of earthy tones, some greens, browns, some off-whites, just stuff to make them look like the farmers and that the sort of regular people that they are. They don't go for flashy colors. They don't go. They're hobbits. They enjoy quiet, 11 seas, second breakfast, going down to the prancing pony, have some pints, right? So I'll paint those guys up. I'm going to repaint Mary, obviously. A lot of the Hobbit stuff has disappeared. You can't get a lot of it anymore, which is unfortunate. I probably should have picked it up years ago, but I didn't. Unfortunately, around here, Lord of the Rings kind of went through cycles. It was really big when the movies were out, and after the last movie, The Return of the King, ended, the interest kind of waned a bit. And then The Hobbit brought it back a little bit, but not great amounts. And then it went down again. I'm hoping that with this Middle-earth strategy battle game, as they call it now, and the Battle of Pelennor Fields, plastic versions, all these characters might generate some interest. I'd love to see more people playing it. It is a fantastic game. It's set in a fantastic world that's just so full of depth and just the languages, the peoples. I could do hours worth of talking about the Lord of the Rings and the Silmarillion and all this massive history going from the very creation of Middle-earth to the final ending of the Fellowship, which doesn't end when you think it does. It actually ends much later. But I don't want to spoil that for people who read the book. There's a whole bunch. If you do read Lord of the Rings, you see that appendix, read it. Read that appendix because it is filled with all the stuff that happened afterwards. You see the connections between the peoples. It's fantastic. You find out what happens to Sam and Merry and Pippin and Legolas and Gimli and Aragorn. You find out what happens to all of them. So definitely give that a read. But yeah, so that's what I have so far. I'm definitely going to pick up some more militiamen. I want to get some with bow and arrows. I definitely want to pick up some of the sheriffs, as they call them. I guess those are sort of the generals of the army. And obviously I want to get Bolror done up, and I want him to look nice since he's a big character. And the same with little Mary here. I'm gonna fix up the base a little bit and repaint him, get him looking nice and mint. But yeah, that's a quick intro into my diving back into the world of Middle-earth. And I hope you guys join me for the rest of it. I got a lot of painting to do. I'm hoping to get that done up a bit this weekend. I'm hoping. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. But yeah, definitely want to focus on these guys as well. I know I seem to be taking on more, and I'll get it done. Or I'll have this as my own little hobby shame where I have tons of models I don't get painted. I know there's a few out there who know what I'm talking about. But under there, guys, thank you very much. and you know, give it a chance. Dive back in yourself. If you have models, paint them up. Throw on the movie while you're painting. Doesn't whatever it takes to kind of get interest. It's a great game, and I hope you guys give it a chance. I hope that people, fans of mine, followers, whatever you can call yourselves, out there in the world, especially in North America, give it a chance. I know it wasn't as big here, but give it a chance. I think you'll enjoy it. So till then, guys, till later. You know, have a great night wherever you are, day. I'll see you guys around. Keep rolling those dice. We'll see you later. Bye.